Ladies and gentlemen, members of the graduating class of 2020, good evening. My name is Vince Ronaldo, and I'm the Vice President for Ontario Administration at Niagara University. It is my distinct privilege to serve as the Master of Ceremonies at this year's commencement exercises. I'm honored to share the stage this evening with distinguished members of the faculty and administration of Niagara University's programs in Ontario. Our eminent honorees, and of course, participating virtually in these ceremonies, our esteemed President, Reverend James J. Marr, CN. Also joining us this evening are three members of the University's Board of Trustees, Dr. Dan Patterson, Mr. Peter Cortolucci, and Ms. Jessica Kent. Thank you for being with us. This evening, we join with families and friends to recognize the academic achievement of 145 graduates who have completed their courses of study at Niagara University's Bachelor of Professional Studies in Education and Masters of Science in Educational Leadership programs. I want to first and foremost thank the graduates for the confidence they have placed in us and for the important role that they have played in the growth and development of these programs. In the spirit of Niagara University's patron saint, St. Vincent de Paul, may tonight's ceremonies inspire you to commit to a life of continuous learning, growth, and service to others. We are a binational university, and it is therefore our custom at all solemn convocations to perform the national anthems, both of the United States and Canada. This evening, the anthems will be sung by Ms. Sarah Medeiros. Ms. Medeiros is a classically trained soprano who performs both classical and contemporary music. She received her degree in comprehensive music from the University of Toronto, and this evening will be conferred her Bachelor of Professional Studies in Education degree with a focus in primary and junior divisions. The lyrics are printed in your programs, and as a sign of polite respect, please rise, and gentlemen, please remove your hats. After the anthems, please remain standing for the reading of the land acknowledgement by Ms. Monica Navasquez, member of Senior Administration Team at Niagara University, and for the invocation that follows, given by the Reverend Aidan Rooney, CM, Vice President for Mission Integration at Niagara University. Ms. Medeiros.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched
Good evening. We recognize that our celebration today, the work that we do here, and the work that our graduates will undertake across Ontario for years to come, takes place on traditional Indigenous territories. In this spirit, I would like to acknowledge that we are currently situated upon traditional territories that include the Wendat, the Anishinaabe Nation, the Haudenosaunee Confederacy, the Mississaugas of the New Credit First Nations, and the Métis Nation. This territory is part of the Upper Canada Treaties and the Dish with One Spoon Treaty, an agreement between the Anishinaabe and the Haudenosaunee and allied nations to peaceably share and care for the resources around the Great Lakes. We hope that we inspire our students and future leaders to be gracious and respectful of these resources, and to honor all First Nation, Métis, and Inuit people who have been living on the land for thousands of years and who are present in our midst today.
St. Vincent de Paul once wrote to his priests and brothers, "Give me a man of prayer, and he will be capable of all things." Years ago, each of you accepted an invitation to pray your life, to connect with the divine, however you understand that. The action of prayer for Vincentians is part of the necessary work of the Vincentian life, coupled with the action of study, the action of meditation, and the concrete action of human and societal transformation. St. Vincent would say today, "Give me persons of prayer, and they will be capable of all things." Totum opus nostrum in operatione consistet. All our work ends up in action, or colloquially, action is our entire task. In your chosen field or profession, you chose a particular action, to explore deeper waters in search of more knowledge, sharper skills, deeper understanding. Our Vincentian way of proceeding, our Niagara way, frames an understanding of this encounter with the divine in the world of the marginalized and the oppressed. We see God in poor people, in intentionally damaged creation. Your explorations and your commitments necessarily will show you a facet of God's love for his creation, and your relationship will deepen as a result. Thus, our celebration here today represents the culmination of your years-long encounter with the poor Christ, whether you know it or not, or if you will, with the damaged and disrespected creations of the most compassionate one. Your life has been a prayer. This invocation then simply serves as a bridge from the prayer you have prayed through your many labors at Niagara University to the prayer that is the dedicated and committed days that are before you. In the faith tradition that speaks best to you, I invite you to now place your body in the position that helps you find your center, that prepares you to pray. Creator of all that is, bless and approve our offering here today. The degrees that we've earned as proof of our questing, the fruits of our long academic, physical, and spiritual labors. In the days, months, and years ahead, grant that we may come to know more clearly the purpose that our labors, our learning, our degrees will play in your divine plan to your greater glory. And may our lives be filled to overflowing. We pray each in the manner that God has given each to know. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Thank you, Ms. Medeiros, Ms. Navasquez, and Reverend Rooney. It is my honor to introduce the President of Niagara University, the Reverend James J. Mark, CM, to welcome our graduates. Father Mark.
Good evening and welcome to your commencement ceremony. As you know, this is not how we originally planned to celebrate your accomplishments, but we're happy to honor you this evening. I want to first recognize Dr. Dan Patterson. Dan has been an incredible leader at Niagara College in Ontario, increasing enrollment, creating a richly diverse campus environment, and expanding the campus footprint into Niagara on the Lake. He is a strong servant leader and has led a number of initiatives that have markedly improved the health and well-being of the community across the Niagara region in Ontario. Dan, it's great to have you with us tonight. Thank you for your partnership and friendship. When you started in the Bachelor of Professional Studies program in the fall of 2018, I don't think any of us would have predicted that we would be hosting your commencement on an October evening after the Toronto Blue Jays finished playing their regular season home games in Buffalo, and just a week after the Stanley Cup Finals ended in this virtual format. But here we are. And even with all the changes our world has seen, I believe you are working in a field that has experienced more disruption this year than any other industry. I also know that teachers continue to do their work every day, whether it's face-to-face or virtual, using some hybrid formats. Teachers are educating and caring for school-age children around the world with a passion that can only be described as heroic. You are the heroes of our world. You are working in challenging times, but we have been through these challenging times before, and as we face these difficult days, we know that the answers will ultimately come from education. Care for the sick comes from individuals educated as doctors, nurses, and physician's assistants. The vaccine that will be eventually developed will come from individuals educated in healthcare and science. The next phase of our economy will be rebuilt by people educated in business, government, tourism, the arts, the sciences, and so many more fields. And each of those individuals, and thousands of them, have been educated by teachers like you. It all begins with you. You are God's angels and messengers in this world, in your words and in your deeds, and we are incredibly proud of you. Today, you enter the ranks of Niagara University's alumni, 36,000 strong, working around the globe. That includes nearly 5,500 alums in Ontario, including directors of education, school superintendents, educators, officers, and administrators in higher education. You are in a good group of educational professionals, and you are a historic class for Niagara University. We are proud to say that you are the first group of students to study in our new state-of-the-art facility in Vaughan, Ontario. While we are grateful to open this new location, our legacy in Ontario dates back decades. And in fact, the first president of Niagara University, the Reverend John Lynn CM, left Niagara to become the third bishop and first archbishop of the Diocese of Toronto. Our location in Vaughan is the next chapter of Niagara University as a premier binational institution in our region. We are incredibly proud of our heritage, proud of our partnerships and affiliations in Ontario, and thankful to the province, the City of Vaughan for their warm welcome and support. But today is not about us. Today is about you. We are incredibly proud of you. You have demonstrated incredible resiliency during a global pandemic. Now, as graduates, you have the opportunity to go forth and be a healing presence in a world that desperately needs it. Your education and the mission of Niagara has prepared you to do just that. As our patron saint, St. Vincent de Paul, would often say to the Vincentian priests and brothers, action is our task. As NU graduates, you are prepared to be women and men of action, bearing mercy, justice, and charity with faith for all. You will be the power of Niagara University in the world. Thank you for being our students. We are incredibly proud of you. Congratulations, and may God bless you and your families.
Thank you, Father Mark, for your inspirational speech and your leadership. Since we first opened our doors in 2019, we've been happy to call Vaughan our home. And now, he offers congratulations to our graduates. And on this special occasion, I would like to welcome His Worship, Mauricio Bevilacqua, Mayor of Vaughan.
Congratulations to the graduating class of 2020. You are a special group of students who will be remembered as being the first graduating class from Niagara University's Vaughan campus. As Father Marr can attest, the first steps in our journey to bring Niagara University to Vaughan began in early 2018, precisely when you began your program. Our initial discussions and negotiations with community partners were rooted in a shared mission to secure the best possible location for Niagara to undertake this exciting new chapter in its extensive, proud, and rich history. When those conversations were first taking place, Father Marr and I spoke at length about you, the students. We remain unwavering in our commitment to ensure students get the best education from accomplished and compassionate and caring professors in a very supportive environment. This has certainly not been an easy year, but your perseverance, tenacity, and hard work and dedication has led you to this next chapter of your life. I know that you will take the lessons you have learned both in the classroom and at home and apply them well. You are the leaders of tomorrow. Your minds are the ones that will break through with new ideas and innovations and an encouraging and innovative spirit that will move our country forward. Although you cannot physically come together with your classmates, family, and friends to mark this very significant milestone, it is important to take pride and celebrate all that you have accomplished together, virtually. Once again, please accept my warmest and sincerest congratulations on this wonderful achievement. I wish you all the best as you continue your academic and life's journey.
Thank you, Mayor Bevilacqua, for your tireless support of our institution and for our students. It is customary during convocations such as this to recognize persons whose extraordinary achievements set them apart as role models for all students whom Niagara University graduates each and every year. This evening, we are pleased to recognize Dr. Dan Patterson, member of Niagara University Board of Trustees and retired president of Niagara College, who will address our graduates. Here to read the citation is Dr. Kimberly Tavares, Education Officer for the Ministry of Education, Education Equity Secretariat, and the Strategic Policy and Planning Branch, and an adjunct professor at Niagara University. Dr. Tavares.
Vincent de Paul wrote, "We must pass from affective love to effective love. And that is a love which takes flesh in works of charity, service, constancy, and tender love." These words could easily have been said to describe our honored guest and commencement speaker this evening, Dr. Daniel J. Patterson. From 1995 until June 2020, Dr. Patterson served as the president of Niagara College in Ontario. During his nearly 25-year tenure, Dr. Patterson oversaw a dramatic transformation of Niagara College. Enrollment almost tripled, from under 5,000 to over 13,000 students. Targeted initiatives for increasing diversity have resulted in a student body that represents more than 90 different countries. Also, under Dr. Patterson's leadership, Niagara College constructed a brand new 125-acre campus in Niagara-on-the-Lake, which features ecological lagoons, wetland systems, landscape gardens, and a 40-acre on-campus teaching vineyard. As a complement to the Niagara College teaching brewery, winery, and distillery, and teaching greenhouse, students and visitors are invited to enjoy the on-site restaurant Benchmark, a student-led enterprise that showcases food, wine, and beer created and prepared by students. In honor of Dr. Patterson's immense contributions to the school, the Niagara College Board of Governors announced last year the renaming of the Niagara-on-the-Lake campus after their transformational president. Dr. Patterson has also been an extraordinary community leader, having championed a large number of initiatives that have markedly improved the health and well-being of the Niagara, Ontario community. For his efforts, he has been recognized as the Greater Niagara Chamber of Commerce Business Person of the Year, the Niagara-on-the-Lake Chamber of Commerce Citizen of the Year, and he has been awarded the Canadian Red Cross Power of Humanity Award. Other important organizations in the Niagara region that have benefited from Dr. Patterson's leadership include the Niagara Gateway Project, Vision Niagara Incorporated, and the Niagara Information Technology Management Board, the Business Education Council, the St. Catharines Chamber of Commerce, the Niagara Region United Way, and the Niagara Economic and Tourism Corporation. In addition to his earned doctorate in 2003, Dr. Hudson was awarded an honorary doctoral degree from Niagara University. It is my pleasure to introduce Dr. Dan Patterson.
Good evening, distinguished guests, and more importantly, graduates. Graduates, today we gather virtually to celebrate your success, the culmination of months and years of hard work and perseverance. Before I begin, I'd like to thank Niagara University for the kind introduction and for Father Marr, a friend and colleague, for asking me to be your commencement speaker. I truly feel honored to address the first graduating class in your new location in Vaughan. It's a privilege and a moment in time that I will cherish. This is a convocation like no other. It's unique. You will never forget graduating during a worldwide pandemic. Each one of you has completed a challenging and comprehensive program of study in the field of education, and in doing so, prepared yourself to succeed in your chosen career. Let me congratulate you on your outstanding achievement. You've made it. Revel in your accomplishments. Graduates, we are all so proud of you and wish you much success and happiness. Remember, you are surrounded by those who supported you in this educational journey. Your family, your friends, and your classmates. It means a lot to them that you've reached this important milestone in your life. So while we give you a virtual pat on the shoulder in celebration of your achievement, remember, do the same thing for those who have helped you pursue and achieve your dreams. For Niagara University, your success is their success. It is what every professor, administrator, and staff member work towards day in and day out. In my 25 years as president of Niagara College, one of the most satisfying parts of my job was convocation proceedings, having participated in 171 ceremonies involving over 70,000 graduates. I have listened to an extraordinary array of wonderful speakers who have addressed literally thousands of graduating students and have seen firsthand the joy, the sense of accomplishment and pride on the face of every graduate. Normally at this point in the proceedings, I would sit back along with the graduates and enjoy the commencement address. I have witnessed laughter, tears, heartfelt messages from speakers outlining words of advice and conveying inspiring messages for graduating classes based on their life's work. Well, this evening, it's my turn to share a few thoughts with you and hopefully some words of wisdom. As you enter the next phase of your life, you know the world is very different now than when you first joined Niagara University. Never in our lives have we experienced such a global phenomena as COVID-19, on top of such massive challenges as climate change, social justice, and economic uncertainty. We face a daunting challenge, and clearly disruption will be constant in our new environment. We need problem solvers, innovators, leaders in every field. We all know our health workers have been heroic in dealing with the pandemic, and I concur with Father Marr's comments this evening that you as educators are equally critical to leading us through this crisis and are being called upon like never before. In the brief but important time I have with you, I want to highlight 3 important lessons that I've learned. Lessons that I believe are tried and true and never more important than now for you to survive and thrive. First, never stop learning. When I reflect on my career, I would say the single most important influence has been the transformative power of education. Never stop learning has been my mantra and my driver. Invest in your own self-development. Become a role model for your students and embrace the power of lifelong learning. My lifelong desire to make a difference in people's lives is rooted in the education I received from extraordinary teachers at my Catholic high school. The words we learned in Latin, teach me goodness, discipline, and knowledge, continue to be a major driver for me in my life. This foundation continued with growing up in a family who value the importance of hard work and getting an education. I'm proud to say that as the son of a milkman, I was the first in my family to pursue post-secondary education, and that I continued on to complete my PhD in my 50s. Through this commitment to lifelong learning, I discovered the importance of having clear, value-based philosophy of life. What I'm trying to say is know thyself. Your actions are your character. What you do is who you are. I suggest you take time to reflect on what's important to you and what you value, and many of the answers will be developed through your journey of lifelong learning. Secondly, draw your sustenance and strength from your students. If lifelong learning was the single most important thing in propelling my career, then the single most important thing that has sustained me was satisfaction from student success. I believe this will be your North Star. The more you put into your teaching, the more satisfaction you will derive from it. In an education system that gets more complex and challenging, you will take great solace in the interface between you and your students. Nurture this and never take it for granted. The students will fuel your passion. They will be your main source of feedback and satisfaction. Gain strength from this. Think of the individual teachers that have had an impact and made a difference on your life. Become that teacher. You are inspiring young minds every day, and you help shape students' self-esteem and confidence. It really is a calling to serve others and to help change lives for the better. And you will derive tremendous satisfaction from knowing you are making such a difference. Thirdly and finally, get involved in your community. For me, getting involved in community is the social glue that ties it all together, and something I believe is so important for educators. It has been a very large part of my life, and I find the more I put into serving the community, the more I get out of it. My hope is that one of the things that you'll take away from your time at Niagara University is a desire to contribute to your community. The Vincentian mission focused on action and making a difference beyond the classroom or school is something very close and dear to me. When we extend ourselves, we enrich the lives of those around us. Service is better than selfishness and most definitely more rewarding. So get involved. Volunteer. See how you can link your classroom or your school to community-based projects. Help others succeed and create a society in which we can all grow and prosper. I assure you, you will find that it will be well worth it. In closing, it's been a privilege to speak with you tonight. I know the future of education is in good hands with you, and I wish you Godspeed and all the very best. Congratulations once again.
Thank you, Dr. Patterson. And now, culmination of our ceremony, the conferral of degrees. Those receiving degrees tonight join a community of more than 30,000 other graduates of our Catholic and Vincentian University and more than 5,000 Canadian graduates of Niagara University. Will all degree candidates please rise? Reverend President Father Mark, I have the honor to present to you from the Faculty of Education in Ontario candidates who have fulfilled every requirement for the degrees of Master of Science in Educational Leadership and Bachelor of Professional Studies in Education. Father Mark.
By the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents of the University of the State of New York and the Province of Ontario, and with the approval of the Board of Trustees of Niagara University, I hereby confer the degrees of Master of Science in Educational Leadership and Bachelor of Professional Studies in Education to these candidates and bestow on them all rights and privileges therein. Congratulations.
Graduates, as a symbol of your new status, please move the tassel on your cap from the right to the left side. I now invite to the podium Dr. Christian Elia, Assistant Professor of Education in Ontario and Chair of Ontario Programs, to announce the candidates for the degrees of Master of Science in Educational Leadership. Dr. Elia.
Receiving the degree of Master of Science in Education Leadership are Adele Felice, Carlos Manuel Jesus Hereno, Michael Joseph O'Brien, Katrina Marie Samet, Alexia Emma Maria Silvani, Veronica Lina Sorrentino, Karen Francis Tigani. This completes the conferral of the degree of Master of Science in Educational Leadership. Receiving the degree of Bachelor of Professional Studies in Education for primary and junior divisions are Selena Aita, Calda Amiri, Simona Balca, Barbara Feitosa Ben-Simon, Ewan Daniel Bensky, Rebecca Marie Bordo, Melissa Teresa Bosco, Lauren Amanda Molinaro Boston, William Jeffrey Bose, Madeline Nicole Bocinis, Natasha Bujols, Pavan Kaur Butar, Christina Nicole Camasta, Michaela Carrere, David Anthony Chacanese, Olivia Francesca Comella, Kathleen Ivana Cornadiera, Daniela Corridore, Anthony Nicholas Dalbello, David Dino Dalbello, Hannah Abla David, Adriana Daneo, Joe DiSalvo, Jordan Benjamin Vicker, Verna Gail Dolby, Sarah Ellen Englert, Shiva Ismaili Assad, Jessica Antonia Ivanka Fernandez, Lauren Nicole Finelli, Natalie Patricia Fritz, Catherine Marion Fulford, Jessica Ferjuelle, Paula Andrea Ortiz Garzon, Alicia Githopoulos, Kelsey Ann Gilletta, Maria Kate Giuliano, Lucas Philip Grela, Jonathan Peter Grossi, Jacinta Vaishananthi Ganasekera, Adam Halitsky, Vignon Nirmala Harold, Jessica Lynn George, Marcy Khan, Milena Kusturic, Lauren Victoria Kutzler, Brianne Irene Larson, Ariana Aragao Lasagna, Vanessa Cristina Librandi, Rita Lojudice, Anthony Bruno Macchia, Rachel Marie Martin, Thomas John O'Flaherty Mason, Shadnaz Masroor, Carolyn Ann Matthews, Nadeja Masur, Sarah Elizabeth Woe Medeiros, Namita Amar Mehta, Ryan Nicholas Melo, Jessica Andrea Mesa, Sydney Christine Miller. Vanessa Ann Mirabelli, Vanessa Morano, Veronica Morja, Shakisha Erica Newell, Amy Lauren Newfield, Lauren Obedkov, Kristen Patricia Oliveira, Cassandra Paluca, Mashana Mataya Summerly Smith Parks, Mallory Elizabeth Phipps, Keisha Tracy Ann Pierre, Ryan Ashley Pinto, Nicola Pisani, Philip Santo Podpecan, Vanessa Vanda Ponisi, Renuka Prabhakar, Carrie Alexandra Primak, Yvette Ivan Ravines Kirolo, Lisa Nicole Ranyo, Niroshi Rajaratnam, Natasha Santina Rapini, Alexandra Justina Rastoaka, Ladessa Marie Rocco, Fatima Rui, Sarah Bryant, Sonia Sanna, Natalie DiMarie Saladin, Daniel Ross Savati, Selena Marisa Scarmato, Reina Sharma, Helen J. Singer, Simerjoti Simi Singh, Suanne Simone Smith, Brett Andrew Summers, Melissa Danielle Spadafora, Iris Hannah Stone, Nicole Diane Sukara, Diana Schietz, Julia Megan Talarico, Francesca Trombetta, Stefania Volpentesta, Davinder Kaur Waring, Sarah J. Worthington Hanif, Donna Sepraset, Dalia Hassan Refat Youssef, Maria Zia Josephine Sophia Zivolak. This completes the conferral of the degree of Bachelor of Professional Studies in Education for primary and junior divisions. Receiving the degree of Bachelor of Professional Studies in Education for intermediate and senior divisions are Hamza Mubashir Ahmad, LaCroix Ivana Kalu, Thomas Albert Cholfi, Jordan A. Costa, Jordana J. Beleo, Natazi Sarah Edwards, Dayun Rebecca Hayun, Sarah E. Jones, Scheherazade Kassam, Mitchell Edward Roy King, Sina Kalatbari, Jillian Ashley LaRue, Domenico Malfara, Douglas Edmund Mann Foster, Mark John McGuire, Amber McMoon, Christina Teresa Michelli, Mino Mokadam, Peter Roy Muir, Sarah Rachel Need, Ramon Gerald Octavo, Alexander Lucas Panowski, Racha Prad, Jessica Tatiana Rosales, Chelsea Elise Rutherford, Matthew Aubrey Sewell, Farah Naz Shamsheri, Kayla Audrey Thompson, Vittoria Ngaro, Michaela Diana Visconti, Gianluca Joseph Vitale. Reverend President Father Marr, worthy Vice President, this concludes the conferral of degrees for the Faculty of Education in Ontario.
Thank you, Dr. Alita, and congratulations, Niagara University Class of 2020. We are indeed very proud of you. Niagara University's Faculty of Education annually recognizes 3 students for the achievement of excellence in their programs. To present these awards, I would like to call upon Mr. Peter Cortolucci, member of Niagara University's Board of Trustees.
Thank you, Dr. Ronaldo. It's an honor to be here, and thank you to everybody tuned in for this special celebration. Our first award is presented to the Outstanding Graduate Student in Educational Leadership. This year's recipient is Carlos Manuel Jesus Eleno. Regrettably, Carlos is unable to accept the award today, so we'll be accepting on his behalf. Our next 2 awards are for students in the Bachelor of Professional Studies in Education program who have shown excellence in teacher preparation. For this honor, Niagara selects 1 student from the primary junior division and 1 student from the intermediate senior divisions. This year's recipient for excellence in teacher preparation in the primary and junior divisions is presented to Olivia Francesca Comella. This year's recipient for excellence in teacher preparation in the intermediate and senior division is presented to Hamza Mubashir Ahmad. Congratulations.
Congratulations to all of our recipients. I would now like to take a moment to recognize some of the people who contributed to making today's ceremonies a success. From the campuses on both sides of the border, Dr. Henry Fordstrom, Associate Provost, Mr. Michael Jeswald, Director of Conferences and Events, Ms. Monica Navasquez, and Beverly Isler for meeting the countless challenges of putting together this event. And a special thank you to our singer, Ms. Sarah Medeiros, who opened the ceremony this evening. And a very special thank you to our very patient audience. Thank you for coming tonight. Before we conclude this evening's commencement, it is with great honor that I invite Ms. Jessica Kemp, alumnus and member of Niagara University's Board of Trustees, to offer her remarks to the graduates.
Thank you, Dr. Ronaldo. Competence, clarity of direction, and a heightened sense of purpose. That is our mission here at Niagara University, and that is what will guide you into this next chapter of your lives. Congratulations to all of the graduates here this evening. What an honor it is to be providing the closing remarks and sending you on your way to continue the Vincentian tradition of caring and guiding your students to becoming the best people that they can be. After all of your hard work and dedication, you are now ready to start your career and having had not only a first-class education, but one that has instilled in you the values of the Vincentian mission. This alone will set you apart from your colleagues. Take this and spread it to the students you will be educating, inspiring, and mentoring every day. Be servant leaders, answer the call to lead by example, and be their consistent, caring adult in this uncertain world. Niagara University strives to develop leaders who will make a difference in their local communities and the larger world. You are now these leaders. Continue to spread the Vincentian passion to your respective communities, as you certainly will make a difference and have an impact on the people that you meet. In this state of the world that we are living in right now, I challenge all of you to not look at the glass half empty, but half full, and take advantage of the opportunities that this education has given you, as there are many. If you can take away one thing from this evening, please do not make this your last interaction with Niagara University. The continued support from alumni is what makes our university a world-class organization. Nothing gives me more joy and pleasure than to give back to the place that has made me the person I am today. I know you will say the same, so please don't forget about us. As we close the convocation today, I encourage all of you to inspire the students you are educating, lead by example, and bring to them the Vincentian values you learned here at Niagara University. God bless and be well.
you, Ms. Kemp, for your inspiring words and for your service to Niagara University's Board of Trustees. We've now reached the conclusion of our ceremony. I declare the commencement exercises of Niagara University Faculty of Education Ontario programs officially closed. Thank you.
Shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now. It is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now. It is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now. It is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn